All right, so we're going to work on a left jab, which is just a simple straight punch coming from the left hand. I'm going to kind of do it like a trained style, like a boxer style. I'm just going to kind of zip out forward and come back really quick. Jab's supposed to be like a really quick action to kind of set up other punches. That can be used for different things in combos or other game mechanics you're using. For us, we're just going to try to stick with the kind of traditional use of it and just keep it snappy and fast. When you're doing a jab, you don't really want to overcommit, and leave yourself open or lean forward. It's a range finding weapon. It's a weapon to set up. It's a weapon to confuse and keep your opponent guessing. Having said that, the way we're going to kind of approach this is basically minimal movement outside of the left arm. And right away, I'm starting to kind of just pose this guy a bit like he's going to be rotating his hips. Because when he does jab forward, we do want him to reach a bit. So for him to reach, he has to turn his upper body, which means he has to turn his lower body. Not to kind of compare this to the last punch, where a lot of the power is driven through the hips. I think the snap of the jab will be definitely coming from his arm rather than like force from his hips, since it is kind of a straight motion too. Anyways, okay, so just getting this guy kind of leaning forward a bit, and we're just going to extend that arm. Again, this model's got some strange skinning, so I'm probably just trying to make it look good for the model itself. So the bones might look kind of strange in their positions. Okay, let's rotate this. I guess there's like several ways to throw a jab, and how your wrist and forearms are kind of rotated. I kind of like to do it this way, where they're more kind of, I don't even know how to describe this, it's kind of more vertical rather than kind of horizontal, flat. Keep that right arm kind of close, right? And that's one of the key things, right? To keep it look like it's a little bit more trained, that right hand doesn't really drop that much. Already you can see with basically 3 frames, 2 of them being the idle pose and the next one being the extension. It's already kind of there pretty much, right? I don't think this animation needs too much work. Let's see here. Yeah, we can lean a bit more, extend that. See what it looks like if he's kind of turning a bit more. Might be a little bit too much, but we're going to go with it. Straighten out that clavicle so it's kind of leading the way. He does look a little bit like he's leaning over to the right a little bit too much. Anyways, we'll just line his head up so it's looking at the right location. Get this knee to rotate a little bit better. Since the action is like a straight left jab, the feet ain't going to be rotating or anything like that from any other kind of motion that's driving that. It's going to fiddle with this a little bit. So it looks okay. I mean, this kind of attack can be, you could like cycle this thing and it should look good. So just a couple frames in. Now, somewhere in between frame 4 and 20. Well, actually, let's kind of break this back a bit. So there's a little bit of a kind of pump. So even if the idle pose it has his hand out a little bit further, the first frame of this animation can already have it kind of back a bit. If you're using a little bit of blending, it's going to kind of take care of that anyways. But if you want to use minimal blending, like 1 or 2 frames, this can be pretty snappy. Because that way you'll see it kind of, cock back a bit and then come out. In reality, that's not really how fighters throw jabs, but for a game, it kind of helps with like that snappiness. All right, so some good motion there. Okay, so the next key is basically going to bring that arm back a bit. It doesn't have to be exactly at that idle position that the arm would be in, but getting close. And, I mean, we can kind of experiment a bit. It might even go further. That does look kind of weird, but still. Anyways, now we got to snap him back a bit. So he's pumping that jab. Still looks a little bit weird from the front, but real simple stuff. You want to keep this character looking sharp. We don't want these extra kind of up and down motions everywhere here. Too many settles. It's not a graceful move. It's supposed to just pump out a punch and come back. I can already see that this posing is kind of strange from the front. I'm going to kind of fix up that rotation maybe a little bit too much. Adjust his hand again. Kind of lead that right hand back. That's okay. It's pretty gamey. Let's see what we can do here. Probably extend this a bit. This right doesn't have any scaling on it, so it's just gonna kind of work with what we can do here. So I'm just kind of keeping it out near the extension point for an extra 2 frames. Let me just kill the curves here, make them a little more sharper in between so it doesn't do that auto hyperextension. So as I said, I'm putting that hand out there a little bit longer. That's why the additional keyframe was put on there. Just because we don't want it to just flicker. We want it to kind of to feel strong as a straight attack animation in game with a couple of frames having it extended. It just looks better that way. I've done it both ways, and this definitely feels a little bit better. And it's so quick too. It's like basically 3 frames, and there's still motion in between frames 4, 5, and 6. So it's not really like stiff there. It's just out there longer. Not stuck in one position. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of kind of simple settle into the hips. The front still looks weird. Fix that soon. It's good, just pumping it out. This guy has like really short reach. There's like several versions of this that you can do. You can put a step in afterwards, or you can just start animating that way. So he kind of slides forward, and he makes up for some lack of reach that he has here. So in 3ds Max, you can easily switch from FK to IK, and when you have FK on, you can actually move that arm, sorry, the hand controller like it's pulling like IK, but it's still FK. But I turn those two poses, or just the controllers with the left hand all at the biggest extensions, both to IK on, so it has this kind of heavier feel. Obviously when IK is on, it has that, and it does kind of different interpolations between keys. Okay, this is me just testing out a step here. But this is how I would do it. Get that key there. Keep that right foot back somewhere else. Rotate that up. Alright, this is a lot of cutout work. On 12. So I got that key back there to hold that foot back, and we just need this guy to step forward a bit, however you want to do it. Just gonna lift his leg here. He'll step. It's okay. I think this one could definitely be posed a little bit more stronger, put more exaggerations without it looking a little unrealistic, but one thing for sure, I mean, we can increase the translation forward, because it looks like he's not really reaching. You see this, nothing's really lining up there, right? So the action of pose, head, spine, and the arm don't really look kind of aligned where they kind of should be. So we're just kind of fixing that up a bit, moving that head, that neck back in a bit. So it's starting to get a little bit tighter. Doesn't have to drag it for too long. We can just make him, yeah, okay, that's it. And you can do a proper step here. I'm just skipping all that stuff because I just want to get this done very quickly. And it tests out in game. So that's pretty much it. Again, you can lean his upper body a bit more and then like forward, and then maybe his upper spine rotate up a bit. And it should be good to go.